Alright, so Steam Deck OLED is sold out. Yeah, Steam Deck OLED is sold out. The only models they have right now is the 256 gig model. Yeah. Anyway, oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Yep. So, the Xbox handheld is not OLED. The Nintendo Switch 2 is not OLED. But Valve Steam Deck is OLED. So, the OLED model is the 512 gig model, and the 1 terabyte model is sold out. The only difference between the two is that you had the two. At first you had 64 gig model. It was one Steam Deck with the same specs, but Valve split them in three and gave you the same Steam Deck but with different features. So you had the 64 gig model, 256, 512, right, for the LCDs. And then with those models now, you had to put a 2 terabyte SSD. Me, I have the 64 gig model. That has a 2 terabyte SSD in it. Okay, Steam Deck LCD. So this 64 gig model, 256, 512. You need that 2 terabytes of M.2 2230. Now, for the newer models now, the 256 gig model LCD, the 512 OLED, and the 1 terabyte OLED. Those are those you have to put a 2 terabyte of storage in there. Even with the 1 terabyte, even though you have 1 terabyte of storage in it, you still I would still recommend put a 2 terabyte M.2 2230. The same goes for the 512 gig model. So both OLED models are sold out right now. They're sold out. I got this article of which I was on there's one article is on gaming on Linux, but the other two is on the Valve certified program. So because right now the refurbished ones, the Steam Deck OLED 512 gig model, that was $439, so out of stock. The Steam Deck 1 terabyte OLED, Valve certified, out of stock. Steam Deck 64 gig model, out of stock. Steam Deck 256 gig LCD, out of stock. These are all the refurbished ones. And the Steam Deck 512 gigabyte LCD, out of stock. Yeah. So the only one that they have now, the only one that I'm looking at right now, is the 256 gig model, and that's $399. So you'd have to put a 2 terabyte SSD in that one too. Yeah, they're all recommended. So the OLED models are gone. But anyway, listen to this. Supply chain issues are making the Steam Deck OLED go out of stock. Then it says Valve have put up a notice in the US and Canada where multiple models of the Steam Deck OLED have now gone completely out of stock. It says it's going to be a little while before they're back too. It says there's been a lot of regional issues, plenty of which is thanks to the Trump administration ongoing tariffs fight. Multiple hardware vendors have faced the same problem, some putting their prices up. Currently in the US and Canada, the 512 gig model and the 1 terabyte Steam Deck OLED models are out of stock. Says here, here's what Valve said at the bottom of the page. When you expand the details, it says the Steam Deck OLED 512 gig model and the 1 terabyte models are temporarily out of stock in the US and Canada. As we adapt to recent supply chain constraint, we're anticipating being back in stock by the end of summer, and currently expect prices will remain the same. We'll update here as soon as we have more clarity on what timeline ultimately looks like. It says at least the price shouldn't go up. It says if you're reading from the UK and still want a Steam Deck, act fast as the Steam Deck 1 terabyte OLED Valve certified refurbished listing as being in stock right now. No, it ain't. It's out of stock. It says here all brand new models are also in stock in the UK. It says hopefully this issue won't end up happening in more regions, as that's quite a lot. Valve will be missing out on getting the Steam Deck into more hands. Well, and that's the end of the article. This article is on gaming on Linux. But I went to the the Valve certified program, and let's see, the 64 gig model out of stock, 256 gig model out of stock, and those are LCDs. 512 gig model out of stock. Those are the first three models. Those are LCD models. They're out of stock, and these are Valve certified. 1 terabyte OLED out of stock. 512 gigabyte OLED out of stock. Yeah. But according to the article here on Gaming on Linux in the UK, it says all brand new models are also in stock in the UK. But let's see if the UK got something to say about this. And no, and the only one they got right now is a 256 gig model. So yeah, Steam Decks Steam Decks are out of stock right now. Yeah, man. So Valve won't have any. They won't have any. It'll probably be like right around summer that then they will have some. But for right now, the only ones that are available right now is this 256 gig model. Yeah. See, this bad boy here. The one I have is a 64 gig model. I took on the challenge because I wanted to test my skills, just to see if I can install the 2 terabyte SSD and then load Steam OS and all that. Oh yeah, works. So yeah, but right now they're out of stock. And now you got and now the article talks about Valve. That's quite. It says hopefully this issue won't end up happening in more regions, as that's quite a lot of Valve will be missing out on getting the Steam Deck into more hands. Yeah, that mean they got to make a whole bunch of them before. This is what right now. This is June, so they got to put some more out before, I would say, before the end of July or even before August begins. So yeah, but the Steam Deck OLED is out of stock, and so are the LCD models, except for the 256 gig model. If you can get one right now, get one for now until they bring the OLEDs back in stock right now. So yeah, it's the holiday season. Everybody trying to get their hands on one. Yeah, and that's the way it is right now. Out of stock. 256 gig model, $299. As soon as you get it, you have to replace that internal storage right away. You have to get it. I mean, you have to replace the internal storage with a M.2 2230 SSD. Yeah. And, oh yeah. So yeah, man. So yeah. These handhelds, people are trying to get their hands on them now. And now Microsoft has their handhelds coming. Yeah, but me, Steam Deck is good, man. Steam Deck is good. Yeah, got plenty of games to play, man. Plenty of games, especially now with Sony with that new fighting game from Arc System. Yeah. The Steam Deck gonna be in demand. It's gonna be in demand when it comes out. Oh yeah, it's gonna be in demand. And now, of course, there's I think the Mortal Kombat collection. There's plus the free games that you get every weekend. Yeah, epic. Yeah, man. This is June right now. July. Of course, there's a summer sale that's coming. Then there's the autumn sale, and of course winter sale. Oh yeah. Steam Deck. Plenty of games to play, man. So people are trying to get their hands on them now. They're sold out. Yeah, man. 7.4 inch screen right now. On the OLEDs, 7-inch on the LCD models. Still good. So yeah. But I'm sure Valve is they're making some I'm sure they're making a lot right now in the factory, putting them together. Get ready for the holiday, so they'll have some more in stock. But for now, only the 256 gig model LCD is available. Yep. Wait. Plenty of games to play, man. Plenty. Yeah. Updates are like this, and the reason I kept saying too, like, you gotta put the 2 terabytes of storage in, because the way the updates is coming, you got Proton Hotfix, Experimental, Proton, GE Proton. There's Wine, plus the launchers that you need. You know, whether it's Epic, what's the other one here? The one that lets you play Anthem. I can't call the name out, but yeah, all those launchers that you need. So plenty of updates here. That's like this. They just roll in. Right? But yeah, games get updates. They roll in. Anywho, so yeah, you guys are gonna have to just wait your turn right now until they make some more. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy though. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, and such. Dark Side. Go. Peace.